From Minnesota's news channel, KSTP Channel 5, Stan Turner, Ruth Spencer, Dave Dahl, and Mark Curtis bring you the Eyewitness News Update.
If there had been a balloon for every person who cheered the Twins today, you wouldn't have seen the sky. If there had been confetti for every single smile, the streets would have disappeared. Who would have thought that so many people would want so much to share one last moment of Twins magic? Good evening, everyone. It was a spectacular display, and one which will take up a good part of this expanded Eyewitness News Update.
As it deserves to, too, right?
Yes.
Right. Hundreds of thousands of people, probably you, gathered in downtown Minneapolis, downtown St. Paul, and the State Capitol Mall to honor the World Series heroes on this Day of Champions. Mark Sapelsa leads our team coverage on the two parades and the Capitol Rally.
They scaled clocks, checked their cameras, collected confetti, gearing up for the Minnesota Parade of the Century.
I have about 4 or 5 bags strategically located.
And who are you aiming for?
Anybody.
Including newscasters, huh? I was right. Waiting for the Twins, she practiced on this reporter. Johnny Brinkhouse hit the books waiting for his heroes, wasting no time during his day off from school.
Can you say, win Twins?
Win Twins.
However you say it, those winning Twins were just around the corner. Hundreds of thousands rushed Minneapolis's Marquette Avenue to catch an arm's-length glance of the world champions, and the champs loved it.
Al, how you feeling? Hi, how you doing? Great.
Word that the 33-car Twins motorcade was nearing sent fans streaming in its path for a look. The Skycam showed a completely clogged downtown, leaving a view for just a few, including clever construction workers.
Couldn't see anything. It was a thrill to be here, though.
Once the parade finally pushed its way through, a final thanks for the memories that won't fade fast.
Who did you get to see?
I didn't get to see anything. I had somebody on top of my shoulders.
Was that her?
Yeah.
Well, who did you get to see? We got to see Royce. We saw everybody. We heard it.
Number one.
At least one here, 1 foot of confetti, that is. Enough souvenir for everyone to take home, keep, and remember. From downtown Minneapolis, I'm Mark Sapelsa for the Eyewitness News Update.
This is Angela Storr reporting. Fans gathered along Wabasha Street early with plans of getting close enough to touch their favorite Twins players. But as time passed and the crowd grew, many fans learned the best place to be was above it all. And so they crowded the skyways. They perched themselves on top of traffic light posts, anywhere they could find an unobstructed view. Those up above and down below filled the air with enthusiasm and signs of celebration. But even the fans who waited for hours were not disappointed when the champions finally made their way into St. Paul.
Awesome. Awesome. It's just great. It's unbelievable.
Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. Just great. It was just so wonderful to be so close to him. I was in the hand's reach. It was fabulous. I touched Bert Bylevin, yeah. It was great.
It was a great day, one that Minnesota will not soon forget. It was Minnesota magic at its best. Angela Storr for the Eyewitness News Update.
I'm Catherine Smith. By the time the Twins motorcade got to the state capitol, some fans had been waiting for hours, but no one seemed to mind.
I want to know what makes this worth waiting hours for.
The Twins are great. I've been following them for years.
The Capitol lawn, nowhere to be seen. Just people and signs and, of course, Homer hankies. There were people hanging from street signs, on top of statues, even in the trees. Anything to get a better look at their heroes.
It's like the last game, like being there. Although we watched it on TV, but it's going to be like being there.
Mark Larault spent the summer in the hospital. He feels, like we all do, that we've come to know the Twins.
The Twins were most of the entertainment I had. And then they went all the way. That's what's unbelievable. The Monkeys did.
And then finally, they were there, celebrating right along with their fans. The official ceremony was short. over too soon for many fans. A few introductions, a few speeches, and then they were gone. But there are an awful lot of fans who are saying tonight this isn't a once-in-a-lifetime celebration because they say they'll be back next year. For the Eyewitness News Update, I'm Catherine Smith in St. Paul.
The monkey's dead, amen. We're not sure how they came up with the figure, who could count all the heads, but the police in Minneapolis and St. Paul are estimating that up to 1 million people jammed the streets of Minneapolis and St. Paul and filled the Capitol Mall to honor the conquering twins. That's easily the biggest outpouring of people that we can recall in Twin Cities history. Ruth?
Tonight, you may be wondering what kind of a mess the crush of people made for police and for the cleanup crews. Our Carolyn Brookter is standing by live right now at the state capitol for that story. Carolyn?
Thanks, Ruth. It's pretty quiet here now. That's quite a difference from the way it was earlier when thousands converged upon the Capitol. The grounds here are none the worse for wear, though. Some of the streets of St. Paul, though, still have the litter from the debris earlier. They tell the story of a ticker tape parade to beat all others. Well, debris still fills the streets of the parade route and near the Capitol. In Minneapolis, the streets are a bit cleaner, though. The workers were out early after the parade cleaning the mounds of confetti. Well, this was definitely a party to remember, but it was a party that was even bigger than organizers thought it would be.
I mean, it had shut down. I mean, it had completely closed up, and I think I know how Moses felt.
There were more people than anybody ever expected. In a nutshell, nobody, including police, thought this big bash for the twins would be so big.
Didn't expect this many people. We figured we were going to get all of the business people downtown and everybody to come down in their three-piece suits and watch the players go by and wave at them and wave their Homer hanky at them and probably get a few people coming in and sitting down, and totally just didn't predict this one at all.
Everything had been planned, including the time it would take the motorcade to go through 7 downtown Minneapolis blocks. But how does that saying go? The best laid plans.
The crowd completely mobbed the street, and I was in front of the motorcade on foot, and we had probably 6 or 7 or 8 marked squad cars with red lights going and officers talking on the PA, and it wasn't working.
Despite the huge crowds, there were no major problems, no arrests. It seems that police not only had to worry, though, about the masses on the streets, but inside buildings. In fact, police cleared out people from City Center, closing it for several hours after the parade. The problem? Too many teenagers celebrating inside. Across the river, the scene was about the same, and once again, police say they underestimated the number of well-wishers they thought would turn out.
We were stretched to the limit, plus we had the same problems Minneapolis had before they got over here. And there were no arrests, well-behaved crowd. It was just large, that's all.
But the big test was also controlling the crowd near the Capitol. Fences helped keep some out, but at one point, nothing worked.
Well, it was impossible because there was no place to go. We could ask all day, but all you do is put them closer together. You don't really move them back.
Despite it all, law enforcement officials were pleased and praised the fans.
Again, the nature of Minnesotans in general prevailed and won the day.
Well, the big crowds ended up with a lot of families being separated. It was reported that 300 children ended up being stranded. We're glad to report right now that all of those children were reunited with their families. It was a great, exciting, wonderful day.
Yes.
Ruth?
Yes, it was. You know what I'd hate to clean up, Carolyn? Those automobiles with all the confetti in every nook and cranny, reminiscent of anybody who's ever been in a big wedding. When they throw the rice, you find it for 2 years afterwards in the car.
Exactly. It's in a lot of cars tonight, and I tell you what, they'll probably take some out, but I bet some will keep a lot of that confetti as a memory of today.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Carolyn, very much. Remember now, if you were not able to watch the parade telecast this afternoon, we're going to show you it again on videotape, and we're going to run that on Thursday night at 10:35. And that's a great chance for you to videotape our coverage and save the event for posterity. And also this note, next Sunday night at 11:35, we're going to bring you a special musical video edition of Twins Fever 87, one you may also wish to tape at home. And later on in this expanded edition of the update, we're going to bring you much more on the rally and the parades.
I could watch it all night.
Yes, I can.
Over and over. But next on the update, Dr. Michael Breen explains why changes are looming for your HMOs in his special assignment report.